Right, guys. Liverpool have beaten Burnley by a goal to nil at Turf Moor, and yeah, it was very much get the job done, in and out. Just forget about it. We got the 3 points. Yeah, one of them definitely wasn't a vintage performance. I thought the first half Burnley were the better side. They just looked more threatening going forward. And in fact, there were very few occasions where Liverpool actually did look like scoring. There was a moment where Henderson put a good cross in, but Mane, for some reason, didn't gamble and get on the end of it. Navigator had a good effort saved, like really well saved by Nick Pope. To be fair, he had a good game. But the goal did come from a corner. And I remember just saying, just before the corner was taken by Alexander-Arnold, I bet he doesn't beat the first man. In all fairness, I wasn't wrong. He didn't beat the first man, but the first man was Sadio Mane, who flicked it on to Fabinho, who had his shot saved, and he somehow managed to squeeze the rebound in. Bit of a scrappy goal, but it's a goal nonetheless, and somehow Fabinho is going on a ridiculous scoring run this season. Well, not even this season, just over the past 6 weeks, he's got 5 goals already this year. Now, I'm not going to try and say anything, but Ronaldo hasn't actually scored yet this year. But so, I mean, I'm not trying to say Fabinho is better than Ronaldo at goal scoring. That would be ridiculous. But he's doing well nonetheless. But I thought, even though I like Ben Mee, I think he's a good defender. I thought he was at fault for the goal there. He sort of marking both Fabinho and Mane, so I guess that's not his fault. He should have someone else marking one of them, and he should be marking the other. But he lets Mane go. So I mean, fair enough. You've got to keep. You can't keep marking both of them. You need to. You're gonna have to let one of them go. And so he lets Mane go. Mane flicks it on, and he loses sight of Fabinho, which is a big mistake. You can't lose sight of both. You need to at least stay on one. So he was slightly at fault for that. But Burnley, the first half, was so much better than Liverpool. I thought Weghorst was causing Liverpool all sorts of problems. Same with Maxwell Cornet and Jay Rodriguez too. That they should have scored at least once in the first half. I thought Burnley. Alisson did have to bail Liverpool out quite a few times, especially in the first half. In fact, Alisson was probably man of the match today because there wasn't many Liverpool players who were completely at it today. There were quite a few sluggish performances, not horrendous performances, but not very good. Like I didn't think any of the front three were really playing well today. Salah looked really good in the week against Leicester, but today he just looked a bit off the pace for some reason. It might just be an off game, or it might just be he had some bad decision making as well. And for me now, it's tough to say because the first few months of the season, despite his injury, like he didn't play a lot of games, but when he did play, he usually played quite well. It was just Diogo Jota was playing ridiculously well, so he was keeping him out of the team. But for Firmino wasn't bad at the start of the season. But since he's come back from his injury over the past month, he hasn't been playing badly at all, but he just hasn't looked like his old self yet. Maybe he just needs a bit of momentum. So, that could definitely be the case. But he definitely hasn't been up to his usual standards. In midfield, Henderson did get a bad knock in the first half, and it looked like he was going to have to go off, but he stayed on, but did eventually get subbed off. He had an all right game. Keita, again, does what he usually does. He looks all right going forward, but just looks so slow getting back. It's the way he's always been. There's not a lot he can do about it really. Maybe be a bit more defensively minded to sort of make up for that lack of pace when getting back. Virgil van Dijk had a good game. It's the best I've seen him play in a while defensively. And yeah, it just wasn't a classic Liverpool performance today. I thought Burnley can count themselves, well, not really unlucky because they were wasteful with chances, but on another day, I think Burnley potentially get more out of that, at least a draw. Um, but Burnley are using up their games in hand now, and they're not getting many points. They got a draw against Watford last week. They got a draw against Man United in the week, and a loss today against Liverpool. Now, I mean, a loss against Liverpool, it's not a bad result at all, especially when it's only 1-0. Draw against Man United, again, that's not a horrendous result, but considering the way the game went in the second half, they could have got more out of that. And the draw against Watford, they'll feel they probably should have won, because Watford, at the moment, for me, are probably the worst team in the league. Newcastle seem to be picking up a bit of form again. Norwich have had a couple of good games recently, although they did get battered by City yesterday. And Everton, they looked quite bad recently, but have just had a good result at Leeds. So, yeah, Burnley, to be fair, they are getting all the tough games out of the way with Man United and Liverpool. I know what a lot of people are going to say, Man United's not a tough game this season. Man United's always going to be a tough game, whatever we say about how they're doing. Like, a draw yesterday was a good result for Southampton regardless. But they need to start getting a few what I call Burnley wins, 1-0s, or 2-1s, or you know, tight wins. They never thrash anyone, do they, Burnley? I can't think of a time where they've ever scored or ever won by a 3-goal margin in the Premier League. There must be very few occasions where that's happened. I think it happened at Wolves last season, but that's all I can think of. Chris Wood scored a hat-trick. But yeah, Liverpool got the job done. Position's the same pretty much. 9 points behind City with a game in hand, and still have to go to the Etihad. So Liverpool are going to have to win that game at City if they have any chance of winning the league, and they need to win their game in hand, and they need to match City for every result and hope that City slip up once to have a chance of winning the league this season. I give City an 80% chance of winning the league this season. Liverpool at 15. No, Liverpool at 20. Chelsea aren't winning it now, are they? No chance. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.